it's Eliane here with longridehome.com. Out with Conke and Ding Dong today. It's an overcast, almost spring morning. I just looked up, it's actually National Plant a Flower Day. I assume that's for the US. So we're gonna start, we have been wanting to start a challenge through social media with our kids who want to each plant a square meter of wildflowers for bees, and then challenge others of their friends and our friends to do the same thing. So I think, having found out that today is National Plant Flower Day, maybe today is the day that we should do that, even if it's a bit rainy and overcast. But I wanted to talk today really briefly about, we were at Equitana the last weekend. It was just a really fantastic weekend. We got to hang with our dear friend Linda Tellington-Jones for a good chunk of the only one day that we were there. We could really have spent much more time there, but the day was great. We also got really lucky and got introduced by Linda to Frederic Pignon and his wife Magalie, so that was a real highlight. And coincidentally ended up having dinner with Philip Karl and his wife Bea Borelle. So altogether a really fun day in Essen. Maybe we can swing next year a bit longer, but we will see. What I wanted to talk about today, in anticipation of our upcoming clinic with Christian de Hade. Christian de Hade is trained in what's called here Sitzschule, which means that the system that he uses there is Equitana, which means we're looking at the rider much more than how the horse goes and where the rider is maybe stuck in his body, and how we could address those things with exercises on the ground, mostly of the horse. He also includes Feldenkreis and brain gym and various other methods to help the rider work through some of those blockages that we all have somewhere in our body, or possibly also our head. And with that, I would like to talk about briefly two subjects that really could fill a whole weekend or a whole week, and that is one, setting of expectations, and two, looking at our body and how and what we can realistically reach. With that, what I mean is, most people that watch this are not 6-year-olds that are just bendable and flexible and formable in every way, but we all bring with us a few years of life, and with that we bring with us a few, well, advantages and disadvantages. Not everything that has happened is obviously a problem or a disadvantage, but it might be that I bring with me that I have great core strength, but maybe in my case I have, according to Christian, a stubborn left side and the right side needs to work a bit more. So that's no problem. That doesn't mean that I can't accomplish really cool things with my horses and have real fun with my horses, but it does mean that I need to take that into account. For example, for me, there's a, I don't know if you can see, there's a great heron right there in the field. Let's see if he takes off. As he ride by. Might be too small for you to see. There he goes. Pretty. There's also a very white one somewhere around here. Not so worried about us. So what I was saying with my stubborn left side and my therefore trying to accommodate more right side, that just means I need to recognize that, and I need to check it, and I need to say that is what it is, and here's the plan that I'm going to do about that. So if we look at some of the riders we see online, we need to ask ourselves, of course it's super cool what they're doing, and we don't want to cut ourselves short or not live up to our fullest potential or wherever we want to go, but we need to assess the situation, or the situation sounds so negative, but we need to assess where we are properly with the help of ideally a team. And I'm going to go into teams in another blog. That's a whole other thing where one could talk for ages about, because I really do believe riding should be a team sport, and not in the sense of we're competing together, but we must work as a team together to form the best us and the best get the best out of our horses. So if we look at every rider and every horse combination and say, really assess honestly, where do they want to go to? Is it, what discipline am I interested in? Do I actually really want to learn the highest levels of dressage? Do I actually want to be able to jump 1.20 m? Or would I be much happier if I can do really cool trail rides with friends, but maybe also do a bit of liberty work and do certain aspects of the jumping and certain aspects of the dressage? Everybody can accomplish everything, but it's a matter of how much time do we want to put into it. If I wanted to, we have really good friends at Equestrian Chaos in Alabama, and they're just an incredible set of ladies that do trick riding and archery at the same time off horseback. If I today wanted to start with that, I've never done molting even. Well, I would have to come up with a rather strict regime of what it is I need to do in terms of flexibility, in terms of strength. If my daughter wanted to do that and says, well, I'm now 6 years old and eventually that's what she wants to do, she would have a much easier time. So the point I'm trying to make is that I could absolutely learn the trick riding, I think, but I need to be realistic about how much time I want to invest in that. And the same thing is if I am, let's say, north of 35 and I'm starting to ride today, and I say, I want to really learn how to maneuver a big warm blood around a Grand Prix dressage test, or a dingeldöngchen, can you please stay with me? Or I want to learn to do, or I want to learn to do jumping or eventing at a high level. I'm sure the same thing for the Western disciplines. So have a little bit of a sit down with yourself and ideally with some of your friends and talk about what is it that I realistically want to reach, and find your trusted advisors, your mentors, and tell them this is where I want to go, and get from them. Say, I don't want to, you know, you telling me, yeah, of course you can do that. I want to have a realistic assessment of how long it takes and how much it would also cost me, because there is cost associated with that. If you have a horse that is not trained to a high level, somebody needs to train that. And if you currently are a beginning rider, it's not going to be you. It would have to be somebody else that makes out of your horse a schoolmaster horse so that you can learn. That is all possible. That is, or you can buy yourself a schoolmaster horse, of course, but you need to be aware of what are my current physical and mental limitations, what are my current time limitations, what are my current financial limitations, and where do I want to go, and then how do I turn all this into something positive and a good, realistic, step-by-step process that will bring me joy, that will make me happy, and that will let me accomplish what I want to accomplish. Because like I said, you can absolutely do all these things, and when I say limitations, I don't even mean that as negative. I just, what I want to avoid is that you go into this and think I can sit on the horse, on a school horse, once a week, and with that, in a year, I will be riding a Grand Prix dressage test. You won't. That's not how it goes. You need to put all the time into the horsemanship, into yourself, into your fitness, etc., etc. So make a plan, because you can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can really do it. But to do it, you must put the time and effort into it that it takes to get there, because it's something extremely difficult to learn. I will pick this vlog into bits and pieces at a later point and talk over about aspects of it. We also have on our websites tutorials with checklists and other things that will help you get step by step to certain aspects. And then always remember, you can reach out to us and say, hey guys, can you all help me make a plan so that I can become this rider, this horseman, this horsewoman in this field? What does it take? With that, Ooh, what's that bird? I don't know if you could hear that. But with that, we're about to get into the forest. Ding Dong and Conky will have a good gallop up the hills, so that we're getting fit mentally and emotionally, mentally and physically for our upcoming Sitzschule. Like always, if you're not on our website yet, check out our website, longridehome.com. Find us on Facebook. facebook.com/longridehome.lrh. And we'll see you next time with this. Off we go. Let's go. Come on, pony.